everyone, I'm Vaishnavi Vyas and I humbly welcome you to the third segment of Conversation Corner. Amid the glaring uncertainties prevailing during the pandemic, a lot of us have been thinking over pursuing LLM. Does LLM help in providing an upper edge to law students, and what are the opportunities one can explore after having a master's degree? Today, we have with us Ms. Richa Kashyap, who is currently an assistant professor at NMIMS University. She holds a LLM specialization in corporate laws from NLU Orissa and is currently pursuing her PhD in banking laws from Amity University. Additionally, she is also a gold medalist and has always excelled in extracurricular activities. Apart from her impeccable academic records, Ms. Kashyap has a deep interest towards research and has authored various articles and chapters in reputed journals and books. We're delighted to have her on board as she will be giving her valuable insights to budding lawyers over a successful transition from a law student to a law profession and talk about the impact of the pandemic.
Hi everyone. It has always been a great pleasure sharing experiences and guiding students. So, if I have to talk about what a law student should do in the 5 year course or in the 5 years of journey as a law student, I would say that it's really, really important to be focused, be ambitious, and be passionate about where do you want to see yourself, where do you place yourself after you passing out from the law school. So one thing which is very, very important is to have an effective time management. So you need to really manage your time well. So if I have to tell you that how do you invest your time, how do you invest your time that you take out for the course or for your study, would be to divide it into three parts. So if you have to divide your 100% investment of hard work and time, you should focus 40% in the classroom teaching, secondly 50% in the library, and third would be in the extracurriculars. So now what do I mean by investing your time, like spending 30% or 40% into each areas? So when I say focus on classroom teaching, what would classroom teaching really help you? So classroom teaching will help you to have your basics very, very clear. So as a law student, when we are into our course, we feel that practical applications are one of the more necessary things that we need to focus on. But when you realize you go for an interview or you go for an internship interview, and even in your internships, PPOs, etc., you would realize that you really need to brush up your basics. You need to know the basics from code. So once if you are interviewed and you are unable to answer a very, very basic question, that would really hamper your image as a very bright student. So when you focus on the classroom study, making notes, focusing on the applications and focusing on the laws, interpretation, etc., would really, really help you to know your basics and know the subject from the core. Secondly, when I say invest maximum time in the library, what do I mean by that? So I would really like you to focus upon uh, contemporary knowledges, like building your knowledge. So read newspapers, read books, focus on searching and surfing through e-libraries. Now we have all these libraries available on online platforms, so surf through those and try to research on certain contemporary issues. Try to discover gaps in the law. Now, research helps you a lot. There's a lot of importance of research in the field. So, when you start focusing on how to take out gap in the law, and then how to write abstract, how to make research questions, how to analyze something, how to do critical analysis, it develops your research skills. Now, even when I was a law student, I thought that research is only going to help me if I have to go into academics or if I want to become a professor. But in reality, it was a reality check for me when I was interviewed after my law school, after my LLM, with big banks and MNCs like HDFC, PwC, Airtel, And what I realized that one thing that the interview was based upon was all my research and publications. So that was a surprise for me that even in the corporate sector, maybe a bank or an MNC or a law firm, they are really keen about research. So when I entered Kotak, I was really curious to ask the VP that how my research or my publications have kind of been noticed so much for interviewing. So then what was their answer was that whenever they see some good research publications in your profile, they are sure of one thing, that whenever a project is given to you, you will go in depth into the project because you're a good researcher. One more example that I would place is that when I was attending an faculty development program, one of the senior partner of Khaitan said that if a student has a publication in two good referred journal, they would not have to give the aptitude test of the particular firm. So there is lot of importance of research in the field that we don't realize when we are in the law school. So one of the suggestions would be sit in the library, be it a physical library or a digital library, and try to research on some contemporary topics. Try to have your own analysis and build your research profile. Publishing blog, writing blogs, or writing magazine is okay, but what counts is good publication in good referred journal, and that you can't start in the fifth year of the law school. You need to start focusing from first year or second year. One more thing where research helps you is when you want to go abroad and have your master's degree. So there's a lot of importance of research out of the country in foreign colleges. So when you write your SOP or write an essay or write about yourself or an LOR, you are required to write about your research background and research profile. And they place a lot of importance on what type of publications you have. So that is one of the area which can improve your profile. So invest your time in the library. That is one of my suggestions. So invest at least 50 to 55% time into the library. The third thing, when I say invest 10 to 15% into extracurriculars, I mean you should be part of groups. You should be part of committees in your college. So, for example, be it law review committee, be it moot court committee, be it a debate committee or an MUN committee. Now, what is going to help you if you're a part of committees? Uh, One thing that you learn is peer pressure. So you learn to work in groups, and that is very important when you enter a professional life. You will always be wanted to work in group wherever you go, in a firm or a corporate or even into academics. You have to work in group. So one thing that you learn being in extracurricular committees would be working with group. Second thing that develops you is that when you participate in moot courts or MUN or debate, you develop yourself in three core areas. One is you improve your communication skill. Second is that you build a level of confidence. And third is that you improve your articulation. Now, these three things are very important when you enter into professional life. So, when you're interviewed, it's not only that knowledge which is checked during an interview, but it is also how you communicate, uh, how good is your articulation, and how confident you are. So when you are in the stage, when you are into committees, you have to be on stage, you have to be with groups, you learn these skills. So if you want to invest your time and focus, you have this 5 years and it's long time. So I would suggest you to be really systematic and enrich your CV. Make something good in your CV apart from your CGPA. And that is really going to help you when you get out of the law school and get into some professional fields.
Yeah, so talking about master's degree is always going to add value to your profile. If I have to talk about how an LLM degree or master's degree is going to help you, it has different impacts in different fields. So if we talk about corporate, in corporates, one thing that you will realize in a corporate or a firm, that you will realize that master's degree or LLM has not given you a break in the beginning, or has not given you certain positions in the beginning. So you may feel that it's equivalent to an undergraduate degree. But down the line, around 4 to 5 years, one thing that you will realize is that when there is a question of promotion, you are given much more importance, and for you, it's very, very quick if you have a master's degree. So, out of my experience, if I have to talk about my experience having a master's degree from National Law University, then one thing that it has helped me was when I entered Kotak, it gave me an L3 level manager position. Also, the pay scale was little different from the people who is not LLM. So yeah, the position and the place where you are placed is different when you have a master's degree. Secondly, I've also taught MBA students and MBA law students. One thing that I have seen is they have experience of 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and they have either quit their job or they've taken a break from their job and joined a master's degree. So yeah, I have been curious to ask about it. What motivated you to quit your job or to take a break from job and join master's degree? So they said that their promotion were on hold, and even their companies wanted them to go and have a good master's degree from reputed college so that they can be given positions in the company. Even some of them were financed by the company. So if you complete your course in a flow, if you are a student, and one thing is very important, that you complete your study. So if you do it in a flow, it's much easier for you. When you start working, it's little difficult to take a break and come back and again do your masters. Now, secondly, how it is important for being a professor, or how an LLM degree is going to help you in academics. It's an entry level criteria. So if you want to be if you want to be an assistant professor, you have to have your LLM. So it's an eligibility criteria, and you also need to enroll your PhD, etc. So if you want to start preparing for your masters, you can do it from the fifth year of your college. Try to crack CLAT. You can also apply for abroad, and for that you need to have a very, very good profile and preparation. This pandemic situation has been really challenging and stressful for everyone. But as students, it can be an opportunity for you to utilize your time in enriching your resume. So, how you can utilize your time during this pandemic would be to enroll yourself for good courses. So, one thing that you can do is search for some contemporary topics that is not covered under your course curriculum. It can be interdisciplinary in nature, maybe something related to investment banking, finance, economics, and you can do some certified course that is going to really, really helpful to enrich your resume. With increasing competition, you have to do something out of the box, and to make your profile good, you can participate in competitions, be part of certain seminars, do some diploma courses, and try to focus on areas which can add value to your CV. To the final year students, I would really suggest you to start learning how to draft emails, how to make cover pages, and how to have a professional CV. So, if you learn formatting CV, if you learn formatting cover page, it's really, really going to be catchy when you send it for internships or maybe for a job profile. So please learn how to format your CV. That is one of the tips that I will give you. And also try to have one achievements in every column of your CV, be it a moot court, be it a research publication, be it a course certificate, etc. So in the pandemic situation, I would really suggest all the students to take out time and enroll for different things that can add value to your CV.
Thank you, ma'am, for providing such wonderful insight over intriguing questions that all of us have been looking up to. I'm sure this conversation will provide clarity to our viewers over LLM prospects and a successful transition from a law student to a law profession. I would like to thank all our viewers for being a part of our conversation. For more legal updates and talk shows, subscribe to our YouTube channel and website. Thank you.